Hi guys, I wanted to go over async lesson number 11. So typo on that part right there. So async lesson number 11 that you guys worked on to start off period 3. So first off, let me move this guy over here so you can see the key. And take a look at this map. And I'm going to ask you to make an observation about this map. So take a look. You might want to pause it here, but take a look at it and see what you see. And so this is North America after 1748. And so some things of note include all of the British colonies, and you can notice they're along the eastern seaboard, and they're also up here in Canada as well. And then it is a little hard to see, I think, on your copy, but this is New France here, it's a light green color. And then over here is New Spain. And so this territory that we're going to start calling Louisiana, it's going to change hands between France and Spain multiple times before the United States ends up buying it in 1803 from France. So it goes back and forth. But remember, the French are out here doing this fur trading, working alongside the Native Americans. And so this map is before the French and Indian War. All right, and so one of the things to also note is just this little sidebar here is the English colonial westward movement. It did disrupt the existing fur trade and the deals that the French had with the Native Americans. So especially in this area that's, kind of this little slash marks going around it. And so the British colonists are trying to move out west, trying to get more land, better land, more fertile land. And as they're doing that, they're brushing up against the French and the Native Americans that are doing the fur trading out there. All right, here is another map, and this is following the French and Indian War. Okay, and so after the French and Indian War, the British government did establish a proclamation line. So take a look at that. I'm going to ask that you make an observation about this map as well. You might want to pause it and take a look at it. Okay, so that proclamation line of 1763 stated that the British colonists could not go past it. They could not go further west past it. And this is going to cause some problems for the British colonies because they too had fought in the French and Indian War. So again, that war is between the French allied with the Indians and then the British allied with the Americans, because the Americans are still British at this time. But because of this war, some of the territory is going to change hands, including this area up here, which is going to be known as the Ohio River Valley or the Northwest Territory. So you can see that up here. But even though it is been claimed by Virginia, as you can see, Virginia, Massachusetts, Connecticut, the colonists are not allowed to go past this line. Okay, they're not allowed to. So this is going to really anger them. American colonists, but one of the big reasons the British do this is because the conflicts with the Native Americans. So one of the big ones that you do want to know about is Pontiac's Rebellion. Okay, and so because of this and this warfare between the American colonists and the Native Americans, the British imposed this line, and that's going to really upset a lot of American colonists. All right, here's another map. Let me move this guy that's over here now. All right, so you can kind of see the land here. And notice the date on this map here is right before the American Revolution. And if you notice that the British have claimed all of this land here as Indian reservation or reserve. So it's for them. All right, so one of the primary reasons why Indian tribes attempted to form alliances with other tribes and European countries during this was to limit the movement of white settlers. So we talked about this a little bit before about how the native tribes were all very diverse. They had different languages, cultures, beliefs, all those different things. So it made them really hard to unite. But here now they have a common enemy, and they do find some ways to resist the movement of the white settlers into their land. And then we will see some unifying of these tribes, some tribes. All right, take a look at this map. I'm going to ask you to make an observation about this map as well. This is something we do if we were in the normal classroom. Take a look at that. You might want to pause it. Have you make an observation. So this map is going to show all of the different kind of ethnic groups coming to the British colonies. You notice that England, of course, the United Kingdom, the British Empire does include Scotland and Ireland at this time. So the green is going to be just from Britain itself, and then the purple are the which is pretty much down here in South Carolina. And then the Scotch Irish, okay, are going to be up in this kind of area. And you can see they're really spreading out. And then German, again, we've got a lot of German in Pennsylvania. And the Dutch, once again, are going to colonize the Hudson River Valley here. And then we also have the African slaves. So we're not saying that they are, coming here as colonies. We want to make it clear they are enslaved. They were brought here against their will. But this is kind of the location of them. And there's not actually a date on this map, I don't see. But this is around the French and Indian War pre-Revolution, pre-American Revolution. So yeah, you can see where they mostly are up here in the Carolinas and the Chesapeake, and then down here along South Carolina. Okay, so we're going to have an event known as the March of the Paxton Boys, and this is going to take place in Pennsylvania. And this group is going to band together, and they're going to be marching west, and they're trying to get more land, which is going to be a common theme. And in this process of doing this, they're going to engage in a lot of battles with Native Americans, and there are going to be some massacres that take place because of this. The March of the Paxton Boys. And this was kind of surprising to some people because the Pennsylvanians are Quakers, and typically they did get along with the Native Americans more so than other groups, but this is going to be kind of an anomaly to that. All right, and then also the Scotch Irish immigrants, they're settling heavily along the western frontier. So again, they're the pink, so you notice they're kind of there. And so they were kind of like outliers within the United Kingdom as well, because they were a mix of Scottish and Irish, and so they were like a minority group there. And so when they came to America, they kind of just went way out there and settled along the frontier. But this is going to lead to some of these uprisings that we're going to see, like the Paxton Boys. All right, and that's where I'm going to stop for today with those notes on just the async lesson number 11.